I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co., and this is the last in the series of my yearly review breakdowns. Well, that's not entirely true. This is the last from a dedicated specific year. I still plan on doing a roundup video. More specifically, this is me going over all the reviews I did in 2024 to just give you some highlights, some lows, some highs, some aggregate numbers, all of that kind of thing. I've done this already for 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and now we are doing 2024. Eventually I'll do 2025, but we're barely in 2025 at this point, so I can't quite yet do 2025. To that end, I'll start off as I usually do. My average rating for 2024 was a 3.55, which was exactly the same as it was last year, which is pretty interesting across, because so in 2023 I did 329 reviews with an average rating of 3.55. In 2024 I did 277 reviews with an average rating of 3.55. That's like that specific to 2 decimal points is pretty decent for an average. Just, you know, we'll see what happens in 2025. If my average review is 3.55 in 2025, we will know that something is up. But outside of that, in general, like I said already, so we had a 3.69 average rating in 2020, 3.61 in 2021, 3.69 again in 2022, then 3.55 in 2023, and 3.55 in 2024. My reviews in general, the amount of reviews have been picking up in general, although 2024 was a lower year compared to 2023. I think that's probably going to continue to be true. I think 2023 was just a year that I really went at it, but we had 72 reviews in 2020 when I first started doing this. We had 209 reviews in 2021, 262 in 2022, 329 in 2023, and 277 reviews in 2024. My review breakdown, that's the average ratings across these. We had 1.5 out of 5. We had 10 2 out of 5s. We had 9 2.5 out of 5s, 57 3 out of 5s, 105 3.5 out of 5s, 67 4 out of 5s, 16 4.5 out of 5s, and 12 5 out of 5s. That's the general breakdown of the various various scores I've given this year. Last year. From that, 3.5 is my most common rating with 105 3.5s given. The next most common was going to be 67 4s, and then 57 3s, and then of course from there. As far as the lower ratings, that 1.5 went to a game called Wonky. It might have been a little harsh in it, but I don't know. I think last year as well, some of the lower scores went to like party games that just didn't land for me. There are great party games out there, but some don't land at all. The 2s, there were 10 of those. We had Digsaw, which really missed for me. We had Exoworld, another one that was like all but stat boosting, but I did not like it. We had For the Queen, which I actually think is pretty decent for the target audience. I don't think I'm the target audience. It's very much an RPG experience. We had Heritage Farms, which was one of a 4 set of crowdfunding games, and I liked the other 3. Heritage Farms I really did not like. We had Monkey Palace, which I was so excited for and bounced off hard, as did my kids. It's a Lego game that my kids had no interest in playing again. They play with Lego all day long. They did not like this at all, and neither did I. We had Mythwind, which actually did get an improved rating later on. In fact, why is Mythwind a 2? Why is Mythwind here? Sorry, Mythwind might be a mistake, because I did give Mythwind a 2 out of 5, but I gave it during the prototype phase. Was the prototype in 2024? Either that or something's wrong. I'm not entirely sure. Oh no, I think I know what happened. I think this is a little bit... Okay. This is a little confusing as to the way I rank my ratings. Mythwind's original rating was earlier, much earlier, but then I did it as part of a roundup review. I updated it to a 3.5 out of 5, but the original rating is still going to be a 2 because when I first covered it, like 2-3 years ago, okay, Mythwind is originally a 2. When I got the updated review in 2024, it became a 3.5 out of 5. Anyways, from there we had Sand, which was a 2 out of 5. We had Sausage, which is a small little game that did not work for me. 2 out of 5. My kids love it. I do not. We have Star Trek Buffer Time. I thought it was pretty bad. 2 out of 5. And then Turbo Kids. These are all 2 out of 5s. As far as the upper end of the scale, my 4.5s, like I said already, there are 16 of these. 16 4.5s. Some of which have become 5 out of 5s, but these are currently, whatever. These were 4.5s initially. We had 20 Strong Tanglewoods. We had Zombicide Army of the Dead, which I was really impressed by. I did not expect to like that as much as I did. We had Cusco. That's the new Queen Games version of Bora Bora. I think Cusco is fantastic. We had Cyberpunk 2077 from Simon. We had Cyberpunk, that wrong one. This is the problem with this reviews. This was Cyberpunk from from Go On Board. I gave it a 4.5. I actually think it will be a 5, but because of the content I had, I really want to wait until I play the final game to bump that up. We've talked about this in several videos. When I'm on the fence, I shift a bit more to the left now. Well, to the lower score now. We had Dominion, which was a 4.5 out of 5 originally. It is now a 5 out of 5. We had Faraway, which was initially a 4.5. It's now a 5 out of 5. Again, some games just, you give them enough time, they really land. We have Harmonies at a 4.5. Ironwood, I don't know why I'm saying 4.5. These are all 4.5s. We had Ironwood, which I almost gave a 5. I did almost come in with a 5 at Ironwood, but I drifted down to a 4.5. It's still a 4.5. Kemet, Rise of the Gods. That's a new expansion for Kemet. We had Monikers, Rebel Princess, Ruination, the expansion for Ruination specifically, I believe. The Dead Keep, that's another one that was so close to 5 out of 5. Came in just close. If they make changes to the final game, I could see it easily being a 5 out of 5. I like that game a lot. We have the Elder Scrolls Betrayal of a Second Era. Valeria Card Kingdoms, which is now a 5 out of 5, but was a 4.5. And we had Western Legends Stories coming in. All of these at 4.5s, with again Dominion, Faraways, and Valeria Card Kingdoms currently being 5.5, 5 out of 5. And Cyberpunk, I think, will be a 5, but we'll have to wait and see. As far as my 5 out of 5s, there were 12 of these, like I said already. 12 of them, most of which, 11 of these are still 5 out of 5 for me. One dropped down to a 4.5. We'll talk about it soon. We had Avalon from Avalon the Riven Vale from Shadowborn Games. We had Blink from Ivy Studios, Clans of Caledonia, which is an oldie, but I only played it for the first time last year, and it was so amazing. We had Codenames as well as Crokinole. Both those are older games that I reviewed in 2024, but Codenames and Crokinole both got reviews and 5 out of 5 games for me. We had DC Superheroes United, which is fantastic. Lands of Evershade, which is absolutely fantastic from Awakened Realms. Primal The Awakening, which I reviewed the prototype and gave it a 5 out of 5, like 2021, but the final game is just as good. It's incredible. I still love playing it. Primal's amazing. We had Shuffleboard, which is a 5 out of 5, along with Crokinole, both fantastic games that are just so much fun to pull out and play. Spectacular from Chili Fox, really liking that one, still really liking it. The Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle Earth, this is the newer version of Seven Wonders Duel, but with the Lord of the Rings theme, and that got another 5 out of 5, and then we had Things in Rings that got a 5 out of 5 as well. The only one that did dip, though, is Things in Rings. Things in Rings I currently have at a 4.5 out of 5. I've played it so much at this point that I do think, and don't get me wrong, playing a game so much and having it go down in rating, that can happen, but sometimes it does not happen. Codenames I have played 50 times as much as Things in Rings, and it's still a 5 out of 5. Castle of Burgundy I've played 200 plus times, and it's a 5 out of 5. Some games can hold up just fine across those 200 plus plays, others do not. Things in Rings I've probably played like 60 times, somewhere in that range, and it has dipped down to a 4.5. I still think it's fantastic, I still recommend it, but it has dropped down a bit to a 4.5 out of 5. And that's your 2024 review breakdown. That's your averages, your highs, your lows, your just general numbers across the board, and I'll be back probably with a live video, but we shall see, doing a full recap of all the 5 years of review breakdown data, covering the aggregate as well. Like I've done year by year, but I haven't done like the full 5-year chunk. Is that 5 years? 20? Yeah, 5-year chunk. A 5-year chunk of reviews. That is 277. I haven't done the math on this, but whatever 277 plus 329 plus 262 plus 209 plus 72, that's how many reviews I've done over the past 5 years, and I am curious to see what that looks like when I have a full, all of them together in one bucket. In any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.